Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Flashback Friday. I know, it's a Saturday, but in America, we have a holiday on Monday, which makes Monday Sunday and Sunday Saturday, and Saturday, which is today, Friday. So, this is how I am justifying recording this today. There was a different video that was posted yesterday that I thought just really fit the Friday mood. So, go ahead and check that one out. It's about Megan and her interactions allegedly with some American Airlines employees. So, what do I have for you today? Today, we're going to go through a video clip that I posted last week that has gotten a lot of attention. It has to do with the RAF Centenary and whether or not Prince Harry ever earned his wings. I'm going to go through a couple of Megan video clips that we'll talk about. I have a Denzel Washington clip that I'm just going to show you. And we're going to finish off with a little bit of Blake. Cherry on top is going to be some beautiful pictures of Catherine, Princess of Wales. So let's get into it. But before we begin, here's the intro. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. Last week, I talked about this celebration for the 100th anniversary of the RAF. It occurred on July 10, 2018, and it's the 100th anniversary of the Royal Air Force, which was officially founded in 1918. The centenary marked a century of service and honored RAF's role in defending the UK and its allies through both world wars and the Cold War and into modern conflict. It was held in London, and the celebrations included a special service at Westminster Abbey, a parade on the Mall, a historic flypast over Buckingham Palace, which featured over 100 aircraft, including Spitfires, Typhoons, and the famous Arrows, and a gathering of the royal family, military leaders, and dignitaries to mark the occasion. This was a national moment of pride, heritage, and remembrance, spotlighting the sacrifice and service of RAF personnel over the past century. And it was during this ceremony that the Queen was giving a speech. So let's watch that speech.
That family tradition continues to this day. The Duke of Edinburgh, the Prince of Wales, and the Duke of Cambridge have all earned their wings and wear them with great pride. The Prince of Wales and the Duke of Cambridge have all earned their wings and wear them with great pride.
The reason I played this video, what caught my eye was Harry looking down and Meghan looking down too, while everyone else is paying attention. The flagpole is in the way, and there were some pretty funny comments about that. I'll post those here. But my point was, everyone else seems to be paying attention to what's being said, except Harry and Meghan. And then when I listened to the audio, I wondered, is it that they feel kind of left out? So that's exactly where my mind went. But all of you are so much smarter. And this is why they say two heads are better than one, or the more diverse our opinions, the more, I don't know, things we think about that we ordinarily wouldn't. So a lot of you brought to my attention and reminded me about Harry and his Legends of Aviation Award. This People magazine actually talks about it in 2024. Prince Harry steps out solo to accept Aviation Award in Beverly Hills. So he doubly accepted this award. And the article says he's being honored at the Living Legends of Aviation Awards, the 21st annual event. Meghan didn't join him, and he was one of 4 people being inducted into the Living Legends of Aviation. The awards honor those who have made significant contributions to aviation aerospace, and the event is being hosted by John Travolta, the official ambassador of aviation. So do tell, what significant contributions has he made to aviation or aerospace? When someone receives an award for something, especially when it involves significant contributions, shouldn't those contributions be enumerated? What did he do? We don't know. And I do want to point out this other interaction here where Prince Harry says to John Travolta, "Thank you, Captain John." And it seemed that the actor had walked away from the center of the stage. Harry then says, "Don't go running away," he jokingly said, adding, "I was 1 year old when you danced with my mom." Okay, so I had to go find the video clip, and after some searching, I found it, and I can't believe Harry. I can't believe the words that come out of his mouth. Let's watch that clip.
Thanks very much, Captain John. Don't go running away. I was 1 year old. I was 1 year old when you danced with my mum. As you told everybody here, and continue to dine out on that probably every single night. But look at us now. It's great. So if we're not going to dance together, we'll fly together. That's it. Thank you. We're done.
So much of that felt wrong to me. This tone deaf banter, "Don't go running away. I was 1 year old when you were dancing with my mom." This should have been a gracious moment of humility, but to me, it looks like another clumsy attempt to hijack nostalgia and center himself via Princess Diana. And the phrasing, "as you told everybody here and will continue to dine out on that every night," this drips with passive aggressive sarcasm. It's like he couldn't resist belittling John Travolta for sharing his own story. The ego jumped out. It's like he is accusing John Travolta of riding on Princess Diana's coattails. Then that statement, "we're not dancing, we're flying," it seems like it's a forced punchline. This was supposed to be clever, but instead it's confusing and self congratulatory. They're not flying together. John Travolta is a real pilot. Harry's aviation contributions were so vague they weren't even listed. And we'll go into that and tie the connection back to the RAF in a minute. Sometimes I go on these tangents when I'm making these videos and, one door leads to another. And here we are talking about something that I wasn't planning on talking about, but I think it's so critical and really sheds light on the situation. Okay. And the worst part to me was his incredible rudeness of dismissing John Travolta on stage. Let's watch that clip. I zoomed in. The quality is not great, but you just have to see it. Let's watch that now.
That's it. Thank you. We're done. That's it. Thank you. We're done.
That is just so darn rude. Harry waves him off stage. He doesn't say, "Let's hear it for him." He doesn't try to share the spotlight. Just, "That's all. I'm done with you. I have no more use for this guy." If any of you have seen the movie My Cousin Vinny, you know what I'm talking about. It's the kind of dismissiveness that reveals entitlement. Travolta, who is an actual legend, just handed him an award, and Harry's response was essentially, "You're dismissed. You may go now." It's giving main character energy and not in a good way. And it reminds me quite a bit of his wife. Then the question was, how come the Queen didn't mention Prince Harry during this speech where she is talking about family tradition and Prince Philip, Prince Charles, and Prince William all earning their wings? So I looked into Harry's military history, and this is what I found. It's from the article Prince Harry on How He Reconciles with Ethical Impacts of War. Silence is the least effective remedy. And it was in People magazine, so you know that this is a biased article. I'm going to leave this here if you want to read it. It's just talking about when he graduated and his deployment. But what I really wanted to focus on is the next image. It says Harry held the honorary military titles of Captain General of the Royal Marines, Honorary Air Commandant of RAF Huntington, and Commodore in Chief, Small Ships and Diving, Royal Naval Command, before he and Meghan stepped back from their senior royal roles. These are honorary titles. He never earned full RAF wings. He trained as an Army Air Corps officer, not RAF. He learned to co-pilot Apache helicopters during his military service and did deploy to Afghanistan. But earning RAF wings requires completing specific flight training courses through the Royal Air Force College Cranwell or equivalent. Prince William did complete this and earned full RAF pilot wings in 2008. Prince Harry did not undergo the RAF's full pilot training program and was never awarded wings in the formal sense. So, at the RAF Centenary in 2018, when the Queen mentioned her husband, her son, and grandson, William, earning their wings and not Harry, this omission wasn't accidental. It's factually correct. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. If I've somehow misplaced or not given completely accurate information, please drop it in the comments. This is all based on the research that I did preparing for this video. The other thing we talked about last week was about how Meghan had a couple of faux pas during this centenary, the RAF centenary. And one was the color of her dress. So at first, people were saying that it was black. And in this Daily Mail article, we talked about it last week. It said that her dress was black. And then someone else, or actually the Sun publication, came out and said it wasn't black, it was deep navy. I showed you a couple pictures of it and I asked your opinion. What do you think? Was it navy or was it black? So let's look at a couple of your comments. Kathy says, choosing that color, even if it is a dark navy, it's still too dark to be appropriate. Everything she does is intentional. Alyssa says, definitely black. She must have lied about the color. I completely agree. And Kathy, you and I are on the same page. Even if she put on the dark navy and looked at herself in the mirror, if it was me, I would have asked myself, this does look kind of black, right? Maybe I should wear a different color. And then Pamela says, but she told America that she always wore muted colors to blend in. And actually, she's the one that stands out. She's the one in the darkest color. DT says she did everything she could to not fit in. CJ says Catherine's dress is stunning, and JB says that dress is black. One of the things we ended with last week was about how the Daily Mail said that Meghan's behavior at the RAF Centenary was very different from how she behaved at Trooping the Color in 2018. And they were saying that, Meghan now is starting to find her royal feet. So I went back and I told all of you last week that I was going to look into Meghan's behavior at Trooping the Color 2018. I have tried everything I can to find footage from this event. Usually the BBC posts the entirety of it on YouTube, or, I would sign up for BBC Plus or whatever to be able to watch it, but you can't find it anywhere. You can find clips of the balcony moment and a little, snippets here and there, but you can't see the raw, full footage, which is what I was looking for. And the footage that is out there, it's really not the best quality. I do want to thank the Royal Reviewer News Show. They have clips that are much clearer and much nicer than anywhere else that I've seen it. So I want to thank you so much, Royal Reviewer. The next clip I'm going to show you was made using Royal Reviewer's raw footage. Thank you, Royal Reviewer. This clip is from a balcony moment at the 2018 Trooping the Color. To me, what stood out was that side-eye glance at Catherine. And Catherine seems maybe frustrated by making that gesture. Maybe she didn't like what Meghan had to say. I think there was a moment that's been discussed where Catherine asks Meghan how she likes Trooping the Color, and Meghan responds, it's colorful. And supposedly Catherine didn't like that statement, but I can't remember if that was from the 2018 Trooping the Color. If any of you know, please drop it in the comments. So I'm curious if maybe this is the moment that that conversation happened. Let's get into some of your comments. Allison says, "Oh my, I have seen that clip many times, but not the side eye. What a gesture of not only contempt, but the smirk of I'm so better than you directed at our beautiful Catherine, Princess of Wales. What a piece of work she is." Glasgow says, "I can only wonder what's going through the Princess of Wales's mind as she sucks in her lips like that. You don't see that as a mannerism of hers at all, and Harry looks as sour as ever. As usual, something happened right before they stepped out on the balcony. I actually enjoy analyzing the people around her for their reactions as much as I do watching her doing her narc thing." I don't know what happened right before they came on the balcony. So if any of you know, please share that in the comments. Green says, "I'm from the US and never paid attention to any of this before. As soon as I started seeing footage like this, it all clicked for me. MM would have hated standing behind a tall, beautiful woman all the time, having to walk behind her, stand behind her, and be blocked from view. This would have eaten her alive. It all makes sense now. 100% I agree." I've been working on brushing up on my photo editing skills, so I picked a couple pictures of Catherine from Trooping the Color 2018. Here she is holding on to dear, dear Charlotte, and look how beautiful Catherine looks. And here is just another photo. She's just so poised and so graceful. Perfection, absolute perfection. All right, let's get into the next topic. I have prepared to create a video about this article that was published last week. The title of that article is Revealed: How Like-Minded Mint Tea Fans Meghan and Enenful Fell Out Over the Cover of Vogue. So this immediately caught my attention. While I was doing research for that video and reading through this article, I saw that the coverage in Vogue magazine was designed to tie in with Meghan's keynote appearance at the One Young World Summit in Manchester in September 2022. And then here at the bottom, it says, a source said the Duchess and her team had high expectations and were expecting she might get a print cover or at least a digital cover out of it. And of course, that led me down another rabbit hole where I started looking at her speech from One Young World in September 2022. Now, I haven't recorded this video yet, but it will be coming out, and I will be going into intentions and reasons and why things turned out the way they did. So keep your eyes peeled. That's coming soon. Let's watch one of the first clips.
I am thrilled that my husband is able to join me here this time. To be able to see and witness firsthand my respect for this organization.
Yes, you heard that right. She said that she is happy that her husband is there because he will be able to see firsthand her respect for the organization. Not he will see firsthand how hard the people of this organization work, how deserving the young adults are, and the work that they do. No, no, no. He will see her respect for this organization. Meghan's words really reveal who she is. And I know so many people get annoyed by her voice and her word salad, and I do too. But there's just so much analysis that can be done with the words. And this is just one example. It's a tiny statement, right? You wouldn't maybe notice it at first because she takes so many pauses between saying things. But when you listen to the entire sentence, it's always just about herself. This next video, I just wanted to make a point. I took the words that she said in that One Young World speech, and I overlaid them with her hypocritical actions. So let's watch that now.
And about trying to shift the global perspective for all of us as a global community to one of curiosity over criticism.
I invite you all to approach this event Meghan did attending so callously, so selfishly, with a camera crew to a site where a horrible tragedy had taken place in Uvalde. And I invite you to approach that with curiosity. I guarantee you, even if you're approaching it with curiosity, as Megan says, because she's going to be seeing it defensively and she would want to protect her actions, she is going to say that it's being approached with criticism. And even if it is approached with criticism, this deserves criticism. Her showing up at the LA wildfires deserves criticism. And there's so many other examples. You all know. I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. And as I was watching this speech, there was a phrase she uses that I have never heard anywhere else except on Seinfeld. So I'm going to show you 3 clips, one of her saying the phrase, one of her saying the phrase, and then followed by Kramer saying the phrase, and then finally a mashup. So let's get into this. This one's funny.
Unbridled enthusiasm. Unbridled enthusiasm.
Unbridled enthusiasm. It's a story about love, deception, greed, lust, and...
Unbridled enthusiasm.
Unbridled enthusiasm.
Well, that's what led to Billy Mumphrey's downfall.
I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And the final clip I have from this speech of Megan's, now granted, the final clip I have of this week, because I haven't finished going through it, is this moment, and it reminds me so much of an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, where Robert is teaching traffic school with his friend Timmy. Let's watch that clip.
It is very nice to be back in the UK.
We can see her saying it through gritted teeth, and that's why it reminds me of Timmy. Okay, everyone, let's switch gears. This next clip is from the Cannes Film Festival. I actually have found out a little bit more information about what happened here. I'll be working on a video for that. It'll be coming up soon, but I still wanted to show you this clip and how skilled Denzel Washington's movements are. Here we go. I mean, that guy is way out of line, grabbing his elbow, pulling him back like that. Let's close out with a couple of Blake Lively clips. This event is in September 2018. It's the premiere of A Simple Favor in Paris, and Blake is just so rude and mean. Here's the clip. These behaviors always are just so surprising to me. This next clip is from a fashion event that Blake attended with Chloe Moretz, and it happened in February of 2012. I made 2 versions of this video. One has the Beatles song Help playing in the background, and unfortunately, I don't think that I can play that version. The music would be copyrighted. But you can listen to it with the music on the short video in my YouTube short videos. For some reason, it's okay to use this music in YouTube shorts, but not in YouTube videos. So I'm going to show you the muted version. This is giving me such Meghan Markle at the USO energy. And what I noticed too is Chloe looks back at that brunette, and I do wonder if the two know each other. I tried doing a Google image search to see if I could figure out who that lady is in the back, but I couldn't figure it out. So if you know, please drop it in the comments. I'd love to know. This next clip is from one of her co-stars on A Simple Favor 2, or whatever the second one is called. And to me, this doesn't sound like a compliment. You let me know what you think.
Also, I want to tell you that I've learned so much from you on set, and I feel like in just 1 month of set, it was just like making like 5 years of School of Drama, because you made me grow up so much, and I love you like crazy.
In just 1 month of working with her on set, he learned 5 years of drama. Now I recognize, like, drama is a topic that you learn, it's a subject of study, but the statement just made me laugh. The final clip I'm going to show you is an interview that Salma Hayek did on the red carpet. Earlier this week, there were reports that came out that there was a huge falling out between Blake Lively and her best friend, Taylor Swift. And it seems to kind of combat those rumors or to show that Blake is a likable person. Blake goes out on the town with Salma Hayek. So then Salma Hayek is asked about that, and let's see what her response is.
We saw you in Manhattan before the cover reveal. I'm just curious, are you going to be joining Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds on another project? Because you guys have starred together in the past.
No, I work with both of them. We've been friends for a very long time, and I'm close to their kids. So I got a chance to go play with them. They got to see their tia Salma.
I did a short video about my impressions of this interview. I posted it first as members only, but I'll be releasing it so that everybody else can see it. But essentially, when she's first asked, are you going to be working with them? Her first response is no. And I think that's telling. And another thing that really stood out to me is this: their children call me aunt or auntie. And it reminds me of how Meghan fakes these intimacy in her friendships, allegedly, where everybody is called an aunt or an uncle by Meghan's children. It was interesting to me that a similar tactic was used. Like I promised, we're going to end with some beautiful pictures of Catherine, Princess of Wales. These are ones that I was just practicing my editing a little bit. I was doing them all on my phone, so it's not the best, but let's see. Oh, she is just perfection, isn't she? Just a ray of sunshine. And look at her and William. Absolute perfection. Graceful, stunning. Just what an amazing lady, what an amazing woman, just phenomenal. Well, I want to thank you all so much for listening. I hope this video was interesting to you. If it was, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I drop a new video. I want to thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.